Hi folks, this is your MWIS Fleeting View in association with Petzl. We've got some springtime warmth wafting across the country on south-southeasterly winds at the moment. There'll be a front just pushing northwards through Scotland on Friday evening, that bringing some rain and extensive low cloud to the hills through the night. That rain largely clearing away northwards by the time we get to dawn on Saturday, but we'll have that legacy of cloud across the hills through into the morning, and that will lift and break gradually through the daytime. It might be into the afternoon before it does clear many of the summits, and southeastern parts of the Highlands will struggle with the onshore wind from the North Sea, so here low cloud may just cloak the hilltops for much of the daytime. Elsewhere though, some breaks coming through and a largely dry story, just the chance of an isolated shower very locally. South Wales, Mid Wales into the afternoon has the greatest risk of some showery rain, perhaps more widely just pushing northwards. We'll have a moderate southeasterly wind across most areas, a gusty wind though, stronger across Wales in particular through the day. The temperatures will be mild, well above freezing, around 5 to 8 Celsius across the hills and mountains. Overnight Saturday into Sunday we'll see some areas of low-level fog, some very low cloud forming in places. Now for Sunday morning, the highest of terrain will generally all be above that fog, so above an inversion for Sunday morning. That low-level fog will tend to thin and break during the morning hours. It may just take a little while to do so in places, but once that's clear, then it's a bright day for all with some sunshine, hazy skies in places, but a dry one overall. We'll just see that gusty easterly wind again across England and particularly Wales through Sunday. Light winds though for the Highlands. A front which will exist just away toward the north may just push back into far northern regions later on in the day for some patchy rain toward northernmost mountains in Scotland. Otherwise it is a fine picture. Now that weather feature that does exist toward the north will be a cold front that is going to push back southwards across the country into Monday. A degree of uncertainty on how rapidly it pushes south, but this is the freezing level situation, and just notice those numbers coming down then quite rapidly into Monday daytime, down to around 600 metres across northern and northeastern parts of Scotland, down below 800 metres widely, even to the Lake District through the middle of the day, and by the later part of Monday, indications favouring that colder air advancing ever further southwards. So we'll be back to a situation of frozen terrain across the mountains, and that's going to be around for much of the week ahead. So a big change to what we'll see over the weekend. Some frost widely in the valleys and the glens overnight. Daytime freezing levels will lift to around 600 to 800 metres. Maybe a few south-facing slopes will go higher than that. So terrain will be substantially frozen for the mountains during next week. There will be some snow in the forecast as well into next week, not expecting a great deal, but just enough to maybe give a fresh coating on some higher slopes. That weather feature toward the north, the cold front coming southwards into early Monday, giving some snow across northern mountains in Scotland for a few hours before it breaks up and becomes showery. Typically, showers is what we'll see next week, with some flurries of snow and some soft hail in the mix. Maybe just something a bit more organised during Tuesday, once more trying to come down from the north into the Highlands. So northern mountains in Scotland most favoured for seeing some snow accumulations a bit more widely for a time, and that might just start to push into the northeast of England, onto the Pennines too. Just got to watch the detail by the time we get to the later part of Tuesday. Certainly a big change to the current conditions though, with those chilly north-northeasterly winds for a few days into midweek, turning round more easterly with time. There'll be some further showers and flurries with snow and soft hail in the mix, most focused over eastern mountains, but some will pop up and develop further westwards into the afternoon hours. Western Scotland generally seeing the least of anything, with best of the sunshine out towards the west coast. Further east, generally cloudier conditions will be around. Do be prepared for significant wind chill factor onwards through midweek with those strong east to northeasterlies. Now high pressure toward the north is expected to build gradually further southwards, so for Scotland in particular, largely a dry story developing into the second half of the week. Showers may just continue more widely over England and Wales, but for many places, most likely toward next weekend, high pressure tries to build from the north and giving a drier but still chilly outlook towards next weekend. All your local details, as ever, can be found on our website. That is your Fleeting View in association with Petzl.